Aristotle claimed that every particular substance in the world has an end, or telos in Greek, which translates into purpose. Every substance, defined as formed matter, moves according to a fixed path towards its aim. Um, this telos, according to Aristotle, is intricately linked with function. For a thing to reach its purpose, it also has to fulfill its function. For the notes, Aristotle, sinabi niya every particular substance in the world has an end. Telos in Greek means purpose. Tas, yung sinabi niya pa, every substance formed is a formed matter moves according to a fixed path towards its aim. Telos, si Aristotle nagsabi nun, linked with function for a thing to reach its purpose. It also has to fulfill its function. Functions of art. An inquiry on the function of art is an inquiry on what art is for. Example niya is, what is the Rizal Monument for? When it comes to function, different art forms come with distinctive functions. Some art forms are more functional than others. Function of art. An inquiry on the function of art is an inquiry on what is art for. Parang ito na rin yun. So, architectural and applied arts. Practical benefits that gain from it. Basta practical benefits tsaka specific purpose. Tapos sa painting and literature, one can look at the value of the product of an art in and for itself. Basta value. Tapos sa No Limitangere and Eli Filibusterismo, novels accrued value and as a consequence function. Functional, ano naman to, they are designed to accomplish some definite end. Sa first function na personal function, varied siya sa highly subjective. Second one, functions depend on the artist who created the art. Third one, artists may create an art out of self-expression. Entertainment, therapeutic purpose. Yun na yun. Tapos sa social function naman, pang-una, address a particular collective interest as open to personal interest. Pangalawa, art may convey message of protest, contestation, whatever message artist intends his work to carry. Pangatlo, political art is an example. Pang-apat, depict social conditions such as photography or yung mga inaano nato is poverty. Tas last, performance art like plays or satires can also rouse emotions and rally people toward to a particular end. Pangatlong function is yung physical function. Can be found in artworks that are crafted in order to serve some physical purpose. Pangalawa, architecture. Yung mga example ng physical function is architecture, jewelry making, interior design. Sa other functions naman, number 1, music principally used for dance and religion. Ancient world saw music as an instrument to facilitate worship and invocation to gods. Music was essential for synchronicity of dancers. Thus, music guarantees that warriors were simultaneous. Music expanded its function and coverage. Lot of music that has no connection to dance or religion. Lot of music. So, yung serenade, ibig sabihin nun, people compose hymns to express feelings and emotions. Music is also used as accompaniment to stage plays and motions picture. Sculpture naman made by man, most particularly for religion. Roman Catholic world, ibig sabihin nun, employment of sculptures for religious purpose has remained vital, relevant, and symbolic. Tas yung si Rizal tsaka si Bonifacio na monument and commemorative coins. Pope Francis. Architecture, ibig sabihin nun, most prominent functional art. Next, buildings. Buildings take too much time to erect and destroy. Next, one cannot dismiss taking into consideration the function of building before construction. Thus, architecture ulit, ibig sabihin, one can find the intimate connection of function and form. Sa philosophical perspective naman, art as an imitation. Kay Plato, in Plato's The Republic yung book, paints a picture of artists as imitators and art as mere imitation. In his description of the ideal republic, Plato advises against the inclusion of art as a subject in the curriculum on banning of artists in the republic. Ano daw? Banning of artists in the republic. In Plato's metaphysic or view of reality, the things in this world are only copies of the original, the eternal and true entities that can be found in the world of forms. Example nun, the chair that one sits on is not a real chair. It is an imperfect copy of the perfect chair in the world of forms. Sa ideal perfect cut versus imperfect cuts, poetry arouses emotions and feelings and thus clouds rationality of people. Next, art is just an imitation of imitation. Sinabi ni Plato na art is just an imitation of imitation. A painting is just an imitation of nature. Basta kasama din siya sa imitation of nature, which is also just an imitation of reality in the world of forms. Last, art then is to be banished, corrupted by the influence of arts. For Plato, art is dangerous because it provides a petty replacement for the real entities that can only be attained through reason. So, the second philosophical perspective is art as a representation. Ito naman ay kay Aristotle. Si Aristotle, nag-agree siya kay Plato na art is a form of imitation. However, Aristotle considered art as an aid to philosophy in revealing the truth. Next, the kind of imitation that art does not antithetical to the reaching of fundamental truths in the world. Unlike Plato, who thought that art is imitation of another imitation, Aristotle conceived of art as representing possible version of reality. For Aristotle, all kinds of art do not aim to represent reality as it is. It endeavors to provide a version of what might be or the myriad possibilities of reality. Aristotelian worldview, art serve two purpose. Pang-una is yung experience of pleasure or yung horrible experiences. Pangalawa, yung ability to be instructive and teach its audience things about life. Cognitive naman yun. Tas, pangatlong philosophical perspective, yung art as disinterested judgment. Ito naman by Immanuel Kant. Sinabi niyan ay basta about siya sa critic of judgment. Consider the judgment of beauty the cornerstone of art as something that can be universal despite its subjectivity. Kant recognized that judgment of beauty is subjective, even subjective judgment based on some universal criterion. Yung pang-apat na philosophical perspective is yung art as communication of emotion. Ito naman is kay Leo Tolstoy. Tapos sinabi naman niya dito, art plays a huge role in communication to its audience emotions that artists previously experienced. And the same that language communicates information to other people, art communicates emotions. Purveyor of man's innermost feelings and thoughts. Thus, art is central to man's existence, because it makes accessible feelings and emotions of people from the past and present. Si Immanuel Kant, 18th century. Tas expressionism, ibig sabihin nun, inner emotional response, exaggerated. Ayun yung art na The Scream by Edward Munch in Germany. Hindi dito dinictate yung real world, kundi di dinictate ang real world, kundi exaggerated lang siya. Ganun.